Hello, welcome. It's review. It's time review today. My friends on the YouTube and on the internets, welcome back to another lit cigarette review. I will be your reviewer and host, Yuri. Welcome to the show. So today is kind of a sad day because I'm out of cigarettes. I smoke cigarettes like a fat person eats candies, and I smoke very much. Like one after other, and then I look in the carton and zero cigarettes. So unfortunately today I have to go to my wife Olga, and Olga, she smokes menthol cigarettes. So I figure why not do a menthol cigarette review? So these are my wife's cigarettes here. They're Canadian menthol, and they look very nice in their package. She likes to smoke these because it keeps her breath fresh. And she likes to use a lot of pickled herrings and smelts. And like after she'll have a cigarette, and then her breath won't stink, which is muchly appreciated in by me. So, like I don't usually smoke menthol cigarettes. Don't really know what they taste like. And, tell you the truth, my friends, mostly the only people I know that smoke menthol cigarettes are the women's and the men that like to have sex in the dark hole. So, like, I'm not a woman and I don't like to, engage in that type of behavior. So I don't smoke menthols, you know. One time I remember a long time ago in this old village I live in, and 2 fields down from me, there's this fat boy. His name was Evgeny, and Evgeny has very big balls. Okay, and you know, there was rumors, that menthol cigarettes shrink your balls, and this kid. He had the very big balls. Like he would go to the church, and the priest would give a sermon, and then suddenly, like he would notice like Evgeny's bulging balls, like in his, slacks, and the sermon would stop, completely, and everybody would just kind of like look at Yevgeny, and he'd be very embarrassed, Or like one time, I remember we were at the Voivod in the village, and we were discussing, like wheat supplies for the year, and suddenly, like he's counting 1 2 3, and then like he looks over, just by chance at Yevgeny's crotch, and he sees these massive balls in his pants, like, and he stops counting, and he messed up the count, and he had to ask actually Yevgeny to leave the room. So if you can imagine, my friends, it's a very embarrassing situation for this fat boy. Okay, I think he drank a lot of milk and stuff, and it makes his balls bigger throughout his life. And so finally, after well, first, we tried to get the exorcist, and the exorcist couldn't do anything he said. So he said, Yevgeny, why don't you start smoking menthol cigarettes? And sure enough, like he smoked them for like a year, and then his balls shrank, completely. And they were just like shriveled prunes in a sack, in like a burlap sack, and nobody, bothered him anymore. But he also couldn't fight. Like he was a championship bear fighter, and he couldn't fight bears anymore because his sack was so small. So you know, I never engaged in smoking a menthol cigarettes, and this is the reason why. But today, because I don't have other cigarettes, I asked my wife. I said, do you have an extra pack? And I will do a review for all of my subscribers. And I have 4 subscribers. I thank you very very much for a subscription, and I hope we'll be good friends. And yes, I very much welcome you here. So like all my other cigarettes, I bought these for my wife on buycheapsmokes.com. It's a nice website. You go there, they have a nice selection. I believe they only have this type of menthol right now. I have seen other types of menthol on the website before, but I think they're sold out. So right now they have these ones. These are very high quality First Nations territory menthol cigarettes from Canada, and this is what they look like. Okay, on the side we have here made in First Nations territory, and on the other side we says Canadian Menthol logo. This is for sale on native territories. Okay, so my friends, let's crack open the pack, and I will break my menthol virginity with you today. So let's open her up. Nothing quite like cracking open a nice fresh pack of cigarettes. They open very easily. Here says a pull, so I will pull this. It's silver. It comes very easy out. And here we go. We have a nice fresh pack of 20 white filtered menthol Canadian cigarettes. So I'm going to take one out of the package and I will give it a little whiff and tell you what I think of it. I'll tell you right away, my friends, it doesn't smell too minty. You know, like I was expecting a little more of a whiff of a mint cigarette. And, you know, let me take one more whiff. Yes, it smells like regular tobacco. It smells like a regular cigarette. I'm not getting too much of that mint scent. Looks like a standard size cigarette. It's nicely packed. The tobacco is nice looking. It's a little bit darker. I don't know if that's because of the menthol flavoring or whatever. It has a nice little green ring around the filter. The filter is white, like I said, standard size cigarette. So maybe we will take a few puffs off of this cigarette and I will let you know what I think of this cigarette. So right away, my friends, I can tell you right away that the throat hit was very strong. Okay, the first puff of the cigarette is very strong, a little bit stronger than I would typically like. I couldn't taste too much of the menthol on the first drag. Let me take another puff here and give you a little bit more information. So actually, my friends, this is a very nice cigarette. You know, like I was expecting, like, you know, a heavy menthol taste, kind of like, you know, like a mint fairy came and flew into my mouth and took a shit in my mouth. But it is actually not like that. It is very subtle and very delicate. This is kind of like imagine like a nice field of mint herbs, in the morning, and there's a dew. There's a very nice a little dew on the mint and makes it very delicate and very nice looking. So let me take another puff here and tell you what I think. The cigarette burns very clean. I like how it burns. Um, the ash is ghost white, which is great because it shows you that the cigarettes don't have much additives or chemicals. Okay, it's burning nice and straight. Again, the strength of the cigarette is not getting stronger. I noticed every hit has the same strong type of throat hit, and it is not changing as I drag the cigarette into my mouth. Okay, so I'll take another drag and we will discuss further. I understand now why Olga likes these because they're actually very, very good cigarettes. I was expecting to come here and talk about these ball shrinkers, and I'd be like, who knows who's going to buy these cigarettes because they're probably not going to be a very good review. But this is a very nice cigarette. I will highly recommend this cigarette. The throat hit is a little bit strong, so I will give it a 4.8 out of 5. It loses a little bit on the throat hit, but I really like that the throat hit does not get stronger as the cigarette goes on. So, my friends, this has been the review uh, of the Canadian menthol cigarettes. You can buy these at buycheapsmokes.com. That's where I bought them. Very, very quality cigarette. Highly recommended by me and Olga, of course. She's taking care of our kids right now, our 8 kids. They're Mirek, Sergey, Bolek, Dina, Dino. Who else is there? Alexandra, Eva, and little Tommy. Yeah, little Tommy. We named him American name because we don't want him to have a discrimination in the school. So this is why. So my friends, if I can sum this up in a few words of this review, I would say, when how can I sum this up? When balls are small, bears won't fall. So like this loses a little bit in translation, but if you think about it in general, you will catch my wind. So, my friends, thank you very much. Please enjoy, smoke responsibly, smoke lots of cigarettes because they put the hair on your chest, and nobody likes, a bald man with not too much hair on his chest. Okay? So, na zdrowie, until next time.